Hello everyone! Today we continue working with an evening dress. The pattern is almost ready. The only thing left to do is to divide this tuck in two parts. Have a look at the sketch. You can see that I need to make two small tucks here, so I'll divide this tuck into two small ones. They will be situated about 3 centimeters away from each other. Let's start cutting the dress. I put the sketch aside for now. I also don't need the draping right now. First, I'm going to cut the two layer details. This is the front. I've put the center front on the fold. This is the back. I'd better cut these tucks now. Guys, do not forget that practice makes perfect. I'm so glad I've managed to find such a white piece of fabric. It's very convenient to work with it. When working with such tucks, it's better to mark the center and the waistline in it. Here's the waistline. This is also the waistline. I'll outline this tuck. Do not forget that I need to add 48 centimeters to the bottom. I remind you that I've decided not to make the pattern longer, but to add 48 centimeters on the fabric. I make the back 2 centimeters narrower at the bottom, just like the front. This is the front, and this is the back. Both details are 2 centimeters narrower at the bottom. Have a look at this tuck. I also marked just the center and the waistline in it. Now let's move on to this detail. The technique I'm going to show you now is very useful. Sometimes you don't need a big tuck, so you need to divide it. Draw a line 3 cm away from the tuck. Cut it, and then make another cut here. This is how the tucks are going to look like. I'll stick them with the duct tape and show you. Have a look here. You can see that one tuck is a bit bigger than the other, but it's okay. This is the center front. It should be cut on a grain. I'll write it down. The center front should always be cut on the grain. Do not forget about it. It's the only right way to cut the item. Here are the sleeve, the wrap over, the front, and the back. I put the sketch aside and start cutting. Do not forget to add 1 cm for the seams. I don't draw a cutting line because I don't want to waste any time. Try to cut without drawing the seam lines. You'll save a lot of time. I make a notch on the waistline. This is also the waistline. These 2 points should match. I'll start tacking when I cut out the draping. I want you to learn how to use your imagination. I haven't added anything to the bottom of the bag, so I'll cut this line off here too. You don't necessarily have to make absolutely the same dress. I just show you different techniques. Let's move on to this detail. The center front is on a grain. Add a bit more than usual for a seam here. I make a notch on the center front. I add 1 cm for a seam here. I make a small notch here too. Now I'll draw the tucks on the fabric. You can see that the tucks are tiny. They are correct. Now I'll cut the sleeves. I make a notch in the center of the sleeve. I'll also mark the wrong side. This is the front. I'll mark the ends of the tucks. I need to transfer them to the other side. This is the center front, and this is the shoulder. Have a look at the tucks. They fit me perfectly. If there was just one tuck, it wouldn't fit me that good, and it would have been impossible to iron it. I've already told you that you can't start working not knowing where the center front and the center back are. I prefer to tack the center front to be absolutely sure I won't make a mistake. Now I need to tack the tucks. Do not forget that the tuck should always be tacked from the top. I've already told you that a lot of times. The tucks are very small. The women's clothes should be fastened from the right to the left, so the left part of the wrap over should be under the right side. I match the center fronts and start tacking. If you do everything correctly, you won't have any problems. The upper part of the front is almost ready. Have a look at me. You've learned some very useful techniques today. It's very important to know how to divide the tucks and how to make a wrap over. That's all for today. Next time I'll cut the draping and tack the dress. Be different and beautiful. My name is Paukšte Irina. Subscribe to my channel and write the comments. Goodbye.